these teams are pretty much neck and neck in terms of rankings, and it's just going to be interesting to see what these new adjustments from Bestia can really do, if that's going to be able to change the, the face of Bestia too. The other thing I wanted to ask you as well is, the piece about with the rosters, I think, Hawasso was a really interesting guy for me. Like, I know you wanted a bit of a tangent on that, but I think that was a good pickup, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to see that same effect like we did in Chengdu.
I am very, very excited for this matchup, Laz. 9Z taking on Bestia, and right off the rip, meyern hitting a jumping MartinezSa and Apps gives us a slight advantage to the T's, but it's a slow crawling default and a lot of utility on the Bestia side, potentially a full-on execute wherever they decide to end up, but I'm already licking my lips at the prospect of a banger of a best of 3 here.
Oh, this is good. This is good controls coming in from meyern right now. So he's already in boiler. Again, a little bit of a feeler, but man, that's the worst feeling right there for MartinezSa. Like the fact that he gets, like, just jumping for info gets instant gooshed. Like, it's just the worst, because then you're like, all right, well, what am I going to do? What am I actually going to be able to provide right now in this round? And you can already see 9Z actually leaning in this 4-player stack on the A site, but it's the wrong read right now. Max is the only player here. He's got the smoke, but he's got the dualies. Going to be able to lock this down potentially, but he needs to stay alive. If he can find a duel and get out of this, this is going to be best case, but oh my goodness, he's actually going to press forward on this. They're both just right beside each other in the smoke. It's going to be about who's faster, who's going to go for the blink. And Luchevin, he's just on the corner here, so I don't know if Max should be expecting this. Oh my God, are you kidding? And he gets the bomb down too. How does that happen? No way, like that, Paladin.
That's absolutely ridiculous there. Well played from Max, and now with the bomb in complete no man's land, Bestia have to scamper across the map, and their entire game plan gets eradicated. What a round and what a call for 9Z to play in that smoke, and they'll get themselves the first round on the board. Bestia will be kind of scratching their heads, wondering where it all went wrong, but sometimes complicated calls like that can just be felled with one swoop. And Bestia will just take that full save.
And that's the thing too, like they kind of go for that 3-2. Oh, oh, look at the molly on top of it too. The barbecue right now. Cooking right now. He gets himself a nice ace on top of it all. And you don't even see Bestia. They don't see a single person. And the round's over within, what, 10 seconds?
So I think sometimes, I'm not going to say if it was intentional or not, but sometimes people like to die via the Molotov instead of the MP9 because it gives away less kill reward. I'm not necessarily sure if that was the game plan there, but regardless, it isn't the worst case scenario for Bestia. They're not giving away that SMG cash, but they will have the buyout here in the 3rd round. And they're looking for gunfights straight away. Nading open the smoke is meyern, and he gets rewarded with the DGT frag.
Yeah, this is a good push coming in from Buddha too. He's trying to get a little bit more aggressive with the MP9. It's backfiring just a little bit. The smoke comes in, but it's a bit too late now. Max by himself once again. See if he's going to be able to cook something up. He does have that molly in his hand. Waiting. Hawasso now behind him. So they got the 2 players here in B, leaving just, I believe that's MartinezSa by himself here at the A site. And what does Bestia want to do? They have 5 players right now, Paladin. They're sitting in such a good position. They can just kind of wait things out and see if 9Z even try to reaggress.
And they're already trying to activate Luchov straight away. Gets himself 1. And Noxy wants to continue to repress the issue on Car. Luckily for 9Z though, they're gonna gamble stack here with the three players all on this B bomb site. And with no feelers in brackets, Bestia could be leading into a trap here. Sure, they've got the 5v3 advantage, but with this stack in play, this could be absolute disaster for Bestia.
Yeah, this is the perfect read right now. 9Z are just fully stacked on this. They're going to have some good counter utility. I believe that's the flash that MartinezSa is going to have. So you're going to see the swing potentially coming in from his teammate. 19 seconds, so they can't even backpedal on this. They have to commit to this plan now. There is no turning back on this. Another flash coming in. More nades going to be thrown. The peak comes in. Also just holding his ground. And look at the time. The time is just dwindling. They have 6 seconds. They just have to take it out and they don't clear him. but they still are able to get the round despite the time on the clock. Oh my goodness, that was way too close for comfort.
I like the idea there from 9Z trying to pounce before that bomb goes down, but at the end of the day, Bestia were very aware having the 2 players bottled up in pool punishes the aggression, shuts it down. They shut down the church player, and man, oh man, did it still get close before they actually had cleared New Box. Luckily for them, it was only the last player up, and they got that instant trade. If he was able to tuck in, who knows? 9Z will reinvest. AWP out for MartinezSa. And right off the rip, we're trying to look for his impact on the server. Just a matter of timing. The tracers are tracked, and Noxy goes down. So right off the rip, the head-to-head goes in MartinezSa's favor.
Yeah, and that was the double boost too, so that was an extra nice little bit of an angle that he was able to find on top of the smoke. So now putting 9Z in a great position here with the 5-on-4. And this is, again, this is the stronger side for 9Z. So the CT side is something they want to get as many rounds as possible, obviously, so they can feel a little bit more comfortable on that T side, since it's not their main course. Luchov now getting ready for the smokes. That's going to go for Moto. And it's going to be just a full execute onto this. They're not even going to mess around. They're not going to lurk anything on this. It's going to be the question of who also just on the other end of the balcony, playing anti-flash. And now they got the bracket control palette, and this is getting a little worrisome. Tom needs to be able to find something here. He needs to be able to find this opening if he can. So he can avenge his teammates, and it's a bit of a greasy spray with the Moss, but it's already looking like it's just down to the 1-on-2. 30 seconds, and I don't know if this bomb's going to go down.
2 HP on Luchov. Sure, he gets the trades, but the flight paths looked a little awry. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, Luchov has got to make a decision. He's got to make it quickly. With MartinezSa leaving, but there seems to be a window, but Buddha catches the timing, punishes that low HP, and 9Z will continue to rack up CT rounds. Third one on the board for them. And honestly, I like the call there from Bestia in the 4v5. You know, maybe you could just catch off a timing, but unfortunately, Toma couldn't get anything in terms of information in the apartments. And for that reason, Luchov has got to take some really odd angles and odd duels. And he takes some heavy casualties because of that. So Bestia so far haven't been able to find that secret sauce, and will continue to reinvest into this round. Noxy will only be on a deagle, and you know, your star rifler and Luchov will have a Mac 10. So already some concessions having to be made for Bestia as 9Z start to gain some steam here early on in the half.
Yeah, we've seen such a great work coming in from 9Z on the CT side thus far. I mean, it's not anything flashy, right? They've been able to just do a pretty good job holding things down. The Paul flash comes in, and there we go. It actually does backfire. I was talking about nothing too fancy. They try something, and it doesn't work. So now they're going to have to backpedal on this. Someone actually getting himself into this, but MartinezSa is able to at least find 1 kill before he goes to the grave. 3-on-2 now, the advantage in massive favor for Bestia, and there we go. You can already see Max. He is out of here. He is not even going to question this decision. He's looking for a gun. Maybe a little bit of an exit frag here. I don't know if he's going to be able to find Deco, though. He's going to be able to hear this, and he has the better weapon. Just barely 1 HP.
That's brutal. I mean, in that situation, Bestia, again, continuing to press the issue, keeping it simple. MartinezSa, I will say, had a couple of opportunities there to capitalize. You had 1 shot off in apartments and a couple on the site itself. And those can be the difference makers to keep them in the round. You want this guy hot off the press if you're 9Z, and it looks like we're going to have to hold our breath for an impactful MartinezSa round just yet. And with that, Noxy's now going to have his turn to don the big green. And a chance for Bestia to pounce right back. This is the kind of back and forth that I was looking for here, Laz. I mean, it excites me in terms of the best of 3. That we're getting this kind of a fight out of Bestia straight away, but there's MartinezSa on the deagle. He doesn't need an AWP. He's got the hand cannon to take care of business.
Oh, man, that's what you want to see. When the D can get out and finally get some connections, that's huge. But, again, it's going to be a lot to ask for. Famos actually with the big swing here. This is interesting right now from 9Z. They're still going for the fight, which isn't too bad. The MP9, the only kind of, semi-auto, weapon they have. The rest are just pistols. Also now just sitting there. He actually spots the player, so he's gonna actually reposition himself. This is good. He's got the 5-7. Look at that damage. He's not able to get the kill, but at least that goes down to now 4 HP. But again, I don't think this is a great position for 9Z. They have no utility except for a smoke.
And there goes one of your rifles as well. Buddha down with the FAMAS. MartinezSa can recover it, but is being still heavily watched by the IGL. And Max is again tasked with saving. Has had a great start to the half thus far, but can only really look on. I think he could be able to take out Deco here. An upgrade on deck. Yeah, there's that Kalashnikov scooped up. And that's pretty much everything Max needs to go on ahead and save. So BESTIA will equalize things. Sure, they have some financial issues, but 9Z certainly have some of their own as well. And I mean, now we're poised for BESTIA to run away with the lead here, Laz. So the simplified T side is doing wonders for them, and 9Z don't really have any answers just yet.
Yeah, they were looking really confident in the beginning, but now it's starting to slow down, and there we go. Finally, the attack is going to come out. They're going to just take this moment to figure what they want to do with this. They don't have the money really for guns in this situation, but at least they can use this. This round probably could just be a wash. Maybe not, maybe so, but at least they can get themselves prepared for the following round to see what they want to do a little bit differently. But I mean, with the AK in the hand, I mean, this is a tough situation because you know, a lot of teams, they like to do that, 4-1 split, just kind of keep the one rifle there, just being quiet and just being a sole anchor to see if they can run into it. Or sometimes they like to kind of mix things up, and I'm curious what 9Z have done. They've shown some creativity so far on the CT side.
And now they're going to have to find a little bit more creativity, considering they only have this one rifle on the back of Max. And as the time ticks down, what is the call here to promote essentially your IGL to get involved? We've seen him have some good individual games, and we're going to need a little bit more out of him if we want to talk 9Z, but BESTIA instead will garner some early map control with this heavy utility advantage, and they're just going to actually go charging up Banana, and MartinezSa will punish him for it. What a deagle headshot there. Deco goes down for the count, and BESTIA will have to reconsider what their options are in the 4v5.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little scary though too, because again, these pistols, when they got close, that could be huge. And look at Max, the one rifle now being saved, and he's able to find 2 more. He is just taking everybody down, doing half the damage on the Toma right now. Look at the HP of him, 16. This USP should be able to get the job done. Coming in from the back, able to make the connection. It's a 2-on-1. It is not anymore, and that somehow, in some way, 9Z do the impossible.
MartinezSa getting that one deagle headshot absolutely terrifies BESTIA, thinking that it may be some sort of a stack. And as soon as they rotate in, that is where they actually have to eat their foot, because Max is right there with the AK-47 on short. There's a flash to boot as well, and that quick double just completely turns around that round. You have, I believe it was Huaso on the side itself getting a dink with the USP. And then from then on, it's just quick flanks and just an overwhelming nature in terms of the numbers for 9Z. So BESTIA will take attack, reconsider what's going on, considering Noxie's got 7k in the bank, and the rest of the individuals on BESTIA are going to have to figure out, do they want to follow suit behind their IGL, or will they want to take some financial concessions? It'll be the latter, where Noxie will have one AK-47, and they'll just buy some upgraded pistols around it. And honestly, lads, I kind of like this decision a little bit more. It's a bit conservative, but it allows allows the preservation of your finances.
No, it definitely does, and that's a good smoke though, deep in the middle, and there it is. Noxie's able to find himself 2 more kills, so that op now, that threat has been removed from this equation. They solve for X, and now Huaso maybe from the back lines of Boiler. He's able to get this timing. Oh my god,
oh no!
Oh, no way! Oh, Huaso, the trigger discipline backfires entirely, leaving it a 4-on-2. Max trying everything he can. It's a scramble for a fight. It's a challenge. Oh, I do not like the odds right now for 9Z.
Oh. Big miss from Luchov on the 1 HP, stationary targeted Max, and maybe there's just a chance now. Sure, it's in the 2v3. Buddha's looking for something to punish, but Bestia are staying strong, and just by not facing in the situation, a Glock and a Deagle on the site, Bestia will recover the round. It's Hero AK's back and forth here, Laz. First, it's Max, and now it's Noxy. What a situation to kickstart this half. And boy, I wouldn't want it any other way. Just some exciting South American Counter-Strike, all vying to stay within this upper bracket. And I mean, talk about the stakes. Neither team here would want to play Furia or Imperial for a spot to remain in this competition.
No, exactly. That's the thing, right? It is that best of 3, but, you know, the loser of this is going to be going down to fight one of those two teams, and that's not something you probably want, especially for keeping yourselves alive in the tournament in the close qualifier. But man, oh man, this is the joy. This is the South America stuff we love to see. It's just, there's so much unpredictability, and look at it now. We were thinking Bestia were able to, you know, scramble themselves a pretty big lead. We're talking a 4-4 with how chaotic this game has gone. But we are finally back at a rifle round for the most part. Who also going to just be sitting with the MP9, but again, keeping himself with that utility. And now even Bestia kind of slowing things down, just fighting a little bit for this banana control, but Luchov has already taken some pretty big damage, and they're still aggressing on this. They are really trying to fight for that control.
Ooh.
And somehow Buddha survives that shot, man. Got caught in the shoulder.
Yeah, I think that just clips the side of the half wall. Buddha should be thanking his lucky stars, because that was really lax on the fallback. And because of that tag, Bestia want to extend the issue. Martinez has got to hurry things up, because there's no utility to stall this hit out. It's just got to be raw aim duels, and Max only gets one. Now Buddha up to bat. Martinez deciding to swing as well. And nothing being offered up. There's Martinez. He gets one. Make it a double as well. And now things go from bad to worse, but this aggression from meyern through his own smoke. And Noxy's AWP puts us in a 2v2.
Yeah, and the CTs are going to commit to this.
What?
And that's a huge miss coming in from Noxy. Something a little bit uncharacteristic of him. The smoke's going to block off that molly. So now DGG is trying everything he can, but leaving it just down to Hawasso. The MP9. Can it be the MP9 to death? Walks into the scope, and Noxy knocks them down with a double, putting it back to a 5-4 lead in some weird, interesting fashion again.
I mean, you think the site anchors had done their job there from 9Z, but it's meyern's aggression through Church, and I don't think there was any communication to say that he was there. And as soon as that happens, Noxy has enough room to move back into the post plant, and we all know how dangerous an op can be in the Inferno post plant, and Noxy lets it rip. Folks, I don't think this round will be live. I think we do have a bit of a tech pause, but that being said, it does feel like we need a breather from the action, considering how dynamic this game has been.
Oh, it's just been so dynamic. And that's the thing, right? Like, that's what we love about this region, and that's what it's just so much exciting moments that they can bring to the table. And that's, you can just never count anybody out in any sort of a situation. And you talked a lot about him. I mean, MartinezSa, I mean, I know he's only sitting in at 8-6 right now, but he's done a great job just finding some big impact kills. Like the fact, again, that he was in the smoke, able to find the double. I mean, didn't win them the round, but again, it still gets him somewhere to go. But surprisingly, Max is, you know, sitting at a pretty decent KD ratio right now. And I don't think I would have put him as like the big fragger on this team, but he is somebody that, you know, does have a very decent rating overall.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really consider him as that #1 player, but for right now, he is leading the way. He's getting a lot of pertinent frags, especially on these site hits, to keep 9Z involved in the round. And yet, still, I mean, it's not like he is taking over the game in terms of rounds, but he is keeping them in these rounds. So keep in mind that you still need another couple of players to follow suit behind him. Martinez has been there in terms of some of this rifle work, but we haven't had that true Huaso gameplay yet. We haven't had the DGT that can take over games as well. And because of that, Bestia's team play has really taken them over the edge. Noxy, you know, while I had to dig him because of his opping prowess, he's shown up so far. When the impact is needed, he's been able to produce. And Luchov has provided some valuable openings on Banana as well. So I'm really happy with what I'm seeing so far from the T side of Bestia, and Nines here really have to kind of muscle their way into back into this game. And I do think that they are capable of doing so. They are that kind of team that stays resilient and stays involved in these games, but it's going to be tough against a roster like Bestia for sure.
No, definitely. And I mean, that's the thing too, right? I mean, we said that, for a team like 9Z, the CT side really is like the main course. Like this is the side where they have a better win percentage, better than their T side, where I feel like, for Bestia, it's actually the other way around. So right now we're starting to see why they're doing quite well on their T side. So I think for any 9Z fans, I mean, the hope is obviously to get this as close as possible, because I think that T side could be a little bit of a problematic situation. Maybe, we don't know yet, but obviously there's been a lot of updates with CS2 and the Peaker's Advantage and all these things, which I think gave the T side even more of a boost.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And now, where we stand still at this tech pause, unfortunately. And tech pauses like these are always really difficult to navigate, just because
Mm-hmm.
you can't talk right during freeze time.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're 9Z in that situation, you have to really stew in the juices of losing that 2v2, and can't really call any game plans off the rip as well. And because of that, I mean they're gonna have
Yeah.
to take an eco as well, and I don't necessarily know how you bounce back from something like that, especially at this stage of the game, right?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, right? I mean, I think you and I've talked, since we've been on the desk together a few times. It's a conversation where you get that momentum. I don't really feel like the momentum is like one sided right now. Like I think what we've seen so far in this game is it is very back and forth. Like it feels like ping pong, right? Like
Hmm.
so I'm not worried about the momentum piece, but like you said, it gets to be that little bit of an awkward time too, because again, they can't really talk during this time. You kind of have to just kind of sit there in silence. And it kind of makes you stew a little bit too, because you don't know what's going on. You're kind of waiting for how long could this take. And that could kind of change, the attitude and the mentality in the game. But I mean, again, these guys have been through a lot of situations and they've played each other immense amount of times in terms of head to head. So, I mean, it's not like anything new, but the thing is too, Paladin, that we didn't really get to touch about was the fact of the head to head. I mean, historically, 9Z and Bestia have played each other quite a few times, but I mean, the head to head does favor 9Z with a 7-4. So that kind of, again, shows the history aspect. But I think, like what we talked about, the rosters, I don't know, that doesn't necessarily paint the full picture here.
No, not at all. And it'll be very curious to see how we add to that history. I mean, this is some of my favorite parts about doing qualifiers like this, because when a region is still kind of developing, you're gonna get the same 4, 5, 6 teams in that gauntlet, and you get to see how they try to vary their game, knowing that they've played a certain opponent multiple times. And I think it'll be very interesting to see the kind of variations in this matchup, especially after we had an interesting veto. But hey, guys, we're gonna try to figure out this tech pause in a little bit, and we're gonna cut to a break. And when we come back, it's the continuation of 9Z on Bestia on Inferno.
All right, we're back. We did a little teaser there. We did a little teaser to catch you off guard, but no, we're here. We're ready to go. Round number 10. Things are finally fixed. We're ready to go. And BESTIA have now put themselves in that lead like we talked about. Laz and Paladin, see what we will find in this chaotic Inferno game.
So 9Z right back at it with his full save. You have MartinezSa with that deagle. And honestly, not the most exciting round to have right back off the tech pause, but this is a formality for BESTIA. Hopefully, we can actually get a 2-round buffer in this game. Feels like beyond the pistol conversion, it hasn't been smooth sailing for either team. But a chance now for BESTIA, especially now that they have brackets control and only MartinezSa on this A site.
Yeah, I like this control though. Again, like they're really mixing things up. They know they have weaker weapons to go against, but it's a deagle. MartinezSa can't get it done this time. Only a bit of a one shot, but it is a free site. 9Z now. Good to go for these last remaining players. They're going to go for the rotate. Again, like even with this kind of a situation, Paladin, you know, I would love it if 9Z just go in there with position for the exits. If they can find a gun and get out of there, I mean, that's already a win on itself, but Toma's not letting that happen at all. And yeah, AKs are starting to sing. I don't think there's any chance that TGG is going to be able to grab that AK. That thing is long a ways, and there we go. A nice easy cleanup, 1 casualty, a 6-4 score line. Now the money is going to be back on the board. 9Z, what do they have cooking?
It's got to be something good here, Laz, because this half is running away for them very quickly. There will be no op for MartinezSa in this round, and because of that, BESTIA still have quite a bit of an advantage. Can try to lay waste with Noxie's op if he so pleases. But again, I'm looking towards that banana control early from Luchov. He's going to go a little bit more lax this time around, not very keen on taking any aggro peaks. And continuous deep smokes from 9Z in the bottom of mid. It forces BESTIA to use a lot of utility and burn some time before they can actually scale up. And now, they're going to try to scale off the back of that fading and straight into arch side. MartinezSa is going to have to take that first duel, and he'll win it. Luchov, their primary star, goes down, and now BESTIA have to find another answer.
Yeah, and they're going for the wraparound here too, and Huaso's not able to find anything. He's fully blind now, but MartinezSa, he's still making multi-kills, doing so much work by himself. How is he still alive in this position? Now the smokes are coming in. You can see the CTs trying everything they can to kick down this door, making it to the 2v2. An HE remaining here for the CT side in terms of the utility belt. A flash now remaining for meyern. Bomb's going to go down. Planted in the default spot, and now the op making its way in towards Big Pit. This is going to be important because the 1 HP, or 1 HP, low HP player of meyern is going to be questionable for Buddha. Oh, this nade isn't going in the wrong spot. Maybe, but that does so much damage. Down to 8 HP. Holding on to this. Needs to be able to find these. Not a chance. And BESTIA have now secured themselves 7 rounds in this first half as we go into the last round of the first.
Every 2v2 feels like BESTIA find a way to dig themselves out of the hole. And this is another one of those rounds. MartinezSa had a shot, gets himself the double, but it's just all for naught. BESTIA just looks so good in the clutch right now, and for that they're rewarded with 7 rounds. A 1T side, and potentially a little bit more. There's only that 1 rifle on the back of MartinezSa. Oh, sorry, 1 more rifle on the back of DGT as well with the FAMAS, but it is still a very winnable round here for BESTIA, and they would love an 8-round haul considering how back and forth this game has been.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've done such a great job to control the later portion of this first half. We were talking, it's been so back and forth, and the fact that now they're sitting in themselves in the advantage. But we'll have to see, like you said, if they're going to be able to find this 8th. Even Buddha's sitting with a CZ, man. Like that is, like, don't get me wrong, I love a good old CZ, but that is not what you want for the last round here. Not a great position for him to be in. He was on the balcony. MartinezSa, though, trying to, again, put matters into his own hands. He's not able to find more than 1 kill. And now, also trying to get out of this. DGG is just on the other side of the smoke. I don't know if they actually cleared him.
No, they didn't.
And this might be the backstab. This could be detrimental. This might actually make a bit of an impact. But he actually just gave away a spot.
One, and that actually is absolutely fantastic.
What?
And that means TGT can get involved straight
touch
away.
each other.
Here's meyern in the clutch, kissing in the smoke, and they can't actually convert the frag. It's going to be a matter of timing, but Buddha comes out on top, and sure, he only has a CZ in the final round, but he converts it. 9Z will have 5 at the end of the half. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if BESTIA can confirm their map pick here on Inferno.
All right. Well, we're finally back. Second half here for the first map of Inferno, which is Bestia's pick, and they were able to get themselves 7 rounds. And things were not the easiest to get to those 7, but now we're here for the second. Laz and Paladin to see who can take this thing home.
Well, BESTIA have done great to get themselves 7 rounds on this T side. And they have an opportunity to continue their good fortunes. It'll be double dualies off the back of Noxy and Toma. And 9Z will have to find a way to dig deep, as we've seen them do a countless number of times. 3 men up the apartments alongside 2 in middle, so keen on charging into this A bomb site, and lucky for them, There are only 2 players here. And the smoke and flash might be everything to get them involved.
Yeah, I love this play, though. This is a good play from 9Z because, again, just going to go for this apartments pop is going to be huge, but someone needs to be able to find this, and that's a great peek. And then he's going for a little bit more, backpedaling on this one a little bit. Good play coming in from him, not overexerting himself, so now making it even more problematic right now for 9Z. The wrap's coming in, but oh my goodness gracious, these dualies are an absolute dagger into the heart right now. And this is becoming such a big issue. DTG trying everything he can with a Glock. Look at what Tom has been able to do. Single-handedly now has put himself with a 3K, and that is a convincing pistol round coming in from BESTIA.
I mean, that is Toma being the MVP through and through. He gets that first kill, gets the information on the bomb, and just stays alive for so long in pit. He's playing that like as though it is a gun round and he has no utility to back him up. And the fact that he makes those dualies look that convincing is just so important. With that, they get themselves their 8th round. They force 9Z into an eco, a full eco at that. And man, oh man, it's such a vital conversion to get.
Yeah, these pistol rounds have been something else, right? I mean, we saw the first one. It was, the dualies being in the smoke on B, and then just, kind of like a Houdini move and just pops out of nowhere. And then it comes, Toma able to find himself with a triple kill, now putting in that kind of a situation. Just absolutely filthy. But going to be Glocks with 1 deagle for MartinezSa right now here from 9Z, committed into this. No utility spent, keeping that money still at that, 1,600 plus. And look at BESTIA now. They've already started to put some good pressure on Banana. Keeping it the 3 players, just kind of standard setup in the A site. Nothing too wild, but I do like this aggression on Banana because now they are obtaining this map control, making it even more of a situation here for 9Z, and they don't really have much to, clear these players out.
No, unfortunately, and that'll be most likely to their demise. They really just want to bleed some more utility, and lucky for them, they have, honestly, rid of most of the utility on BESTIA. It's only the single Molotov on Noxy and a flashbang on Deco. And there's that flash to go in. And unfortunately, they won't get any contact before it. And there's that last bit of utility to be used. So with 25 seconds left on the clock, Max and Co have done their job in terms of rotting the utility. And now they'll look to try and confirm themselves with bomb play.
Yeah, they're just going to try to fight for this. Noxy does have a bit of a challenging kill. Takes a full clip to get it done, but yeah, these Glocks are doing no sort of a threat at all. BESTIA should be able to pick this one up flawlessly. They do. They get them on themselves a 9th round. 9Z, if they would have been able to find that bomb plant, obviously would have added way more coin into the bank, which could have, made the question about the op coming out. But unfortunately, no dice. Snake eyes. So now we're going to keep the AKs just with the 1 Galil Holosso. Big round now here, Paladin. I mean, this is where, again, BESTIA are in a great position. They still have the 3 MP9s, so they have that, money grabber if they can find some kills.
Yeah, they can play that bonus out. They've got enough of a buffer. When I'm looking at the kind of aggressive rifles that we were starting to talk about the narrative before the game started, we were looking at Luchov and we were looking at Huaso, and so far, Luchov has produced his end of the equation in terms of the T side, and now it's got to be Luchov on the other end. He's got to find a way to crack things open, but instead, Luchov is going to extend dueling into logs, and his teammate in Deco has gone down, but he still lives, living within the smoke. Are they going to actually clear him out? Oh, they do. Max will get that frag, and with that, a huge advantage for 9Z on this first gun round.
I really like the attempt, though. I love that, they tried to counter-aggress through the smoke. They tried to just keep pressing forward with the MP9s. Like we said, that was kind of what they needed to do. Leaving it back to a 2-1. Toma now here close to the MP9. Comes in for a swing. Dry peeks it, actually, but it's a nice trade coming in here from BESTIA. But now the jig is up. They know exactly that there should be only 1 player theoretically at this B site, and being a split of a 1-1. And despite the smoke, you can actually see, BESTIA have actually made a bit of an interesting call. They're just going to abandon the B site, gamble this more for CT side and library, and go for the double player A stack. Very interesting. In 30 seconds here now for 9Z. And they're going to be able to creep through. They do have plenty of utility here. They got 3 smokes with the Molotov, so they're going to be able to block everything off. And as soon as this smoke comes in, they're going to know that they have to commit to this. But the question will be, do they actually want to go for the retake?
I don't think they can here, just considering the lack of utility and the lack of guns as well. Instead, try to retain the finances and hold on to this rifle off of meyern. Noxy will try to look into Banana for a potential upgrade, but Buddha is here to at least watch the backs.
Very interesting call. Again, it could have just been that one decision, you know, did cost this round potentially. We don't know that for sure, but like you said, now Noxy looking to see what he can find. A good flash comes in. Actually blinds Buddha as well.
Team
Oh,
flash.
Buddha.
Wow.
Oh, he didn't even clear that. Oh, so now okay, he's gone. Yeah, he's a dead man walking, and there we go. meyern gonna be able to keep the M4 though, but once again, we'll see what they're gonna work around this. They are sitting at the high 3000s, so they can go for this if they choose to. I don't even think I would hate like for a lighter purchase on this and then just having plenty of cash going into the following, but they are going to take that tactical. Probably a good call right now, just considering they have that 3-round buffer and a few decisions to make right now.
If I was Bestia in this case, I mean, we played the last round as though it was a bonus. You would be trying to invest in here, but I think you're right. It doesn't really feel like it would be the healthiest buy. You still have that rifle on meyern's back. You know, these pistols can always get involved. And considering their loss bonus is very low right now, first stage would mean that they would have to keep 3K in the bank if they want to have a proper buy-in on the next. So they'll take the conservative approach. They want to value that lead, and I really respect that. Let's see how meyern decides to get involved in round number 16, because as we've seen in this game, one rifle can be enough to win you a round.
Yeah, definitely can. We've learned that from this one, that's for sure, in this first map in this series. Nice little bit of attempt here for the boost over the wall. They struggle a little bit. They're making tons of noise, so this should be an easy read for them. Oh, they're going to swing out of the smoke? No, okay. I was thinking, surely not. This team's just suicidal, but no, they're just going to retreat this plan. They're going to give it up. Banana control can be grabbed here from 9Z if they choose to. And even 9Z, again, fighting for this bracket control. And it is only going to be, I believe it's just the 3 players still here again at this A site. Very passive setup we're seeing from them now. Paladin, this is the first time we've seen Bestia kind of, you know, really turtle things up.
They're just hoping that they can pounce somehow with this passive play, but with the weaponry that they have on hand right now, it's going to be really difficult. Here comes a flashbang to get into long, and look at the split. It looks so pristine here for 9Z. They'll get themselves this A bomb site pretty much free of charge and with no casualties as well. meyern will try to save this rifle yet again. 9Z will get their 7th, and we'll look to have those guns out in the next. Bestia's pistols looking for some exits.
Yeah, Luchov already gets spotted here too, so he's looking for that quick peek, and that's why a 5-7 can do some pretty good work like that. Gets the kill, now he's just going to retreat it. Not even going to entertain it again. Not a bad call. And again, they're just going to be, 9Z's just going to be throwing around that rifle, making sure nobody picks it up. And like you said, a full save coming in, and this 3-round lead is now getting a little bit smaller, as now 9Z have been able to find themselves 2 in a row. But this next round is going to be so critical because, again, the money's going to be on the board. Should be enough for the op to come out, which we've definitely been waiting to see. And you talked a lot about it in the pre-show, just, you know, saying like this is going to be the big test right now for Bestia.
Absolutely. How can they dig deep? How can that CTAWP get involved? Because now Noxy has finally bought it out. Or rather, meyern's bought it out, so Noxy can get full utility. So, no chance for Martinez to have his big green out. Actually, he did have the opportunity to, but it looks like they're actually opting in to stay mobile with the 5 rifles. And why fix what is already working?
Oh, that's a nice gap in the molly, actually, so he can swing out a car. So he doesn't find really much here. He actually makes a ton of noise. He's the one that's getting damaged here. But at least he's trying something. He's trying to put a little bit of that pressure. And Bestia,
There it
really,
is.
there it is. Yeah, exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that's what we were looking for, and there it is.
Big opening for Noxy, and off to his counterpart as well. They try to nade open the smoke to get some more information. Noxy will see that there was nobody home. And now, a minute on the clock. Max has got to cook up something special here. And it looks like A will continue to be that port of call. Only one flashbang and 2 smokes, so they will have enough to cross into the site. But it's going to come down to this raw duel here in apartments and off of short.
Oh, his timing. Oh, and he falls off the balcony. No! Oh, no. Just a bit of a misplacement now. Toma now coming in with the A4, trying everything he can. Spots the hair of one player, but he's already exposed. They just remove him. They eradicate him, making it to the 2v2 now. The CT's coming in lane. The one coming through Arch. It's Huaso to get the best of him. My goodness. This is falling apart here for Bestia. It was looking decent. They had the right setups. Now Buddha spots the boot. And he's done. He's a dead man, and there we go. 3 rounds have been gained here for 9Z to be a 1-round differential to a tie game.
And even in this situation, Bestia had the man advantage. Noxy was able to get it done. But meyern, as soon as he falls off the balcony, so does the chances of Bestia in the round. The crossfire just falls like a house of cards. Toma can't really get involved. He's between a rock and a hard place, and Noxy's still trying to figure out if there's another player coming out of middle, but unfortunately for them, 9Z were all cooped up in the apartments. I mean, you could thank the lucky timings for 9Z, but it's Huaso to have that big step up of a round and make this game very doable now for 9Z. I mean, we spoke about the veto and the amount of advantages that they have when you look at the rest of the 3 maps. And with that, it kind of feels like Bestia need to win Inferno if we want to have that conversation. And I can slowly start to feel like their chances are being drained away here, Laz.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Not a great situation, but nonetheless, we've been in situations again before where the pistols come out. They can do something. They can find something here, Paladin. So I'll remain optimistic. But I won't lie to you. It's hard not to be thinking that, 9Z have a pretty decent chance here of bringing this back. And some good discipline coming in. Bestia now. meyern going in for a bit of a swing. The P2 does some good damage, but again, not a kill. They're still just trying to funnel out. Buddha with a nice little bit of a tap-tap-arino. Taking somebody in the library. It's a short read. And now they're still creeping into this site. 2 players with a crossfire. They're not going to be able to complement it, but the dueling's around. Can it do enough? No. And this round is done and dusted. MartinezSa, my apologies, able to find himself that triple.
Marvelous stuff there from Martinez. I mean, it feels as though he hasn't had the most amount of impact on the op, but his rifling has been sublime so far in this game. And you know what? At the end of the day, if you can get your team to 13 rounds, that's all that matters, no matter how you do it. And it looks like the Spanish Opera is finding a way to make it work in another circumstance. But Bestia, on the other hand, are running out of opportunities. It's now an even scoreline. They've lost that 4-round buffer. And all that good work that they were able to do in the pistol is pretty much done and dusted. That's a great setup there from Deco and Lucha. Flash to prime him in, and you get your young star involved early.
Oh, and he almost gets caught here through the smoke, but like you said, starting things off, that's kind of what he was been waiting for, right? He was always kind of, testing the waters a little bit on that end, just trying to see what he can find, and he does finally at least get that opening duel. Takes down Max. Again, that's the top fragger here for 9Z. So pretty decent kill. Noxy getting blocked off here by the smokes. He's trying to get a little bit more aggressive through it, but now Bestia, they're going to change up their position. Yeah, they're just going right into B. This could be problematic, and it is. And Deco does find himself at least 1 kill. But does Bestia really want to go for this? They do have the man advantage.
That's right, but we have seen how difficult it is to retake this bomb site. Unfortunately for 9Z, they only have 2 players here Buddha was trying to cut off some rotations, but there will be nothing to actually fight into. It's all coming through CT, and DGT catches a little bit of a head in the smoke. Luchov goes down, and now we're back into a man-even situation here, Laz. It's anyone's game in the 3v3, but with no utility for Bestia, they will be backing away.
Oh my goodness. And they don't even have the kits either, so that was the other issue. I think they were just hoping to find that opening duel, and it doesn't work out at all. At least Noxy can get himself a little bit of a prize here. But they've lost a lead, a big one at that. Now going in favor for 9Z. Yeah, sure, the op's going to be in the rotation with an M4, but now you're sitting with, you know, 3,500, 37, 38. You can force this up, and I think that's what they want to probably do here. And yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're just going to risk everything now. But this probably will be a little bit more on the lack of kits, as we only see one. So they're going to have to be very careful. The pause coming in. It might be a technical, but timing of that couldn't have been better, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Bestia, you really think about how they've lost a lot of runway in this game, that you're kind of forced your hand, that you have to essentially force buy into these rounds, considering you have max loss bonus as well. And honestly, 9Z and Max have been calling quite a great game here. The fact that he decides to up the tempo there in the man disadvantage is really ballsy to call, but I mean, they're taking that 3v4 on the B bomb site every day of the week, and they punish those nades that come into the CT smoke, and I mean, they're just so competent in those after plants that Bestia don't have any other choice but to save. This kind of passive play is really haunting them.
It definitely is. It is really starting to become against them at this point. Luchov now looking again, just looking for peaks by himself. He goes for the swing, and he's able to find two. Finally now. He gets rewarded for that play that he's been repeating the same track, and it works out for him. Hits the perfect tune, and now they put themselves in a 5-on-3, something we have not said in a long time. And now the swing comes in for MartinezSa, and he gets removed, and somehow, not even at the minute mark yet, 9Z have lost 3 players so quick. And this is now going to take some heroic play from Hwaso and Buddha.
You cannot let this round go if you're Bestia. This is an opportunity that has not been presented to you in quite some time, and meyern offers up another body. Sure, Buddha takes heavy casualties, but look at the issue here on this B bomb site. It is only Luchov to remain, and he's been spotted, but Hwaso can't convert. And now, surely, Bestia can find the equalizing round.
Yeah, and he even repositions back to the same spot before. And like you said, that was a huge play from Luchov, because again, if he would have been taken out, that would have opened things up, because the site was just him anchoring it. Buddha still finds another kill, man. He is sitting with triple so far. Bestia have just been giving bodies on this. I know, like, there's only 6 seconds remaining, but still, it's so costly. They don't have the ability with the money right now to be kind of doing that. I mean, they should be able to have rifles on this, sure, but again, they should be trying to preserve the cash as much as possible. But nonetheless, we're back to a tie game, and it really does come into one player only, and it was Luchov that was able to find the triple, and in my opinion, single-handedly win that round.
Yeah, now we're finally getting to see. I mean, he did so much work on that offense, but now he's putting work in the defensive side as well. Back-to-back opening 5v4s and 5v3s for the Argentinian, and it's great to see that he's still stepping up in terms of his impact. But they've got a lot of money to chew through here, Bestia. And I mean, you can't replicate that play time in and time out. You've got to find new answers, because don't get me wrong, 9Z can adapt to these situations very well. And you know, they're still very keen on fighting for banana control, regardless of what's happened in the last few. They'll park DGT here, and they'll go towards brackets to try to open things up for them.
Now we're starting to see again this bracket control coming into effect, and Bestia actually having the double players in Arch. This could be good. Toma, if he can get out of this. Oh, he didn't get spotted. Wow, I thought he was caught here with the smoke dissipating. I don't know if they're gonna expect this now.
He doesn't know.
No, and then they do clear him.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! He peeks it. It's a double back. He peeks it again and again. Why not? And the bomb is going to make its way up to bracket, but look at meyern. He's in such a tough spot right now. He has to stay alive as long as possible. He needs his teammates to get here for the retake. And he is able to get the bomb down for 1, makes it 2.
Oh.
Things are getting a little bit more interesting now, but he's done a decent job. But there we go. Luchov now getting thrown out through the smoke, just leaving it to Noxy. What an op. A 1-on-2. Not a situation you want to be in for BESTIA. Now the question is going to be, does he really want to contest this? And a difficult site to retake on with double flashes. Oh my goodness, and he almost lands the shot, but not quite.
I have seen Noxy win clutches like that before. I did really feel like it was out of the realms of conversation, but he does miss that second shot. DGT offered it up, and 9Z get themselves their 11th, and it's another slightly up-tempo call, and it really just comes down to how passive BESTIA are playing. They give so much room for 9Z to call circles around them that they just have no answers once they lose brackets. As soon as that happens, they're flashing straight away into long, and Noxy's op can't get involved. meyern can only do so much on the side itself. And now they have to take that eco. They have to give potentially map point to 9Z on your own pick as well here, Laz.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, right? Because we said that 9Z, they won this veto. They did a great job and kind of playing the mind games. They were able to, do the little bit of a fake with the vertigo pick and stuff like that. So if BESTIA can't find this map, this thing could be a big favorable situation for 9Z, but we'll have to see what 9Z want to do with this kind of a situation. The bracket control being grabbed up again with the 4 players committed. Just having, I believe, it's going to be DTG. That's going to go towards Banana by himself, just kind of scoping things out, getting some intel. But it's a full stack from BESTIA right now. Oh, they're going to double back on this. Buddha does catch the shoulder of meyern, so now they're going to still wait things out. Lots of time left remaining.
Lucky for them, they still have all of CAR because of DGT, and that gives them that ripcord that they can pull. They'll move back over, and the rotations will not be there fast enough. It is only Luchov in the back of the site with a 5-7 and a dream. It would be one hell of a highlight if he is able to produce something here. And unfortunately, it's just going to be a dink for his trouble. Swasso will go down to 1 HP. And 9Z should have themselves their 12th round.
Yeah, a bit of a challenging fight for Max, someone that has been doing pretty good in the frag department, but yeah, this one's gonna be over. I mean, this round, BESTIA, they've already left this idea. It's not even really a thought anymore. meyern may be looking for an exit. He knows that at least 1 or 2 of these players should be quite low, so if he can find this kill, that's gonna be good. And you already have Huaso Peak, MartinezSa, and DGG sitting low HP. So this is a decent fight that he could be able to find. The bomb radius could be a little bit of a problem, but these guys leave it. Just leaving it down to MartinezSa by himself. He's just going to be the sacrificial lamb. And map point now being here for 9Z through the thick and thin of this Paladin. We need to see something big from BESTIA.
Absolutely. Noxy will get that AWP out yet again. But as you said, last chance saloon for the Argentinians if they want to stay in Inferno. Keep in mind, Nuke and Ancient on deck if needed. And we've seen some incredible gameplay from 9Z on Nuke. Repeatedly, players like Martinez have absolutely taken over games on outside Nuke. And I don't necessarily know if BESTIA have what it takes to stay within this best of 3 if we get there. So, a lot riding on this round. In some ways more than a map, one would say.
That's the worst feeling in the world, too. I mean, again, like we talked about, BESTIA did have that big lead, and it's just fallen apart kind of quickly, too. And that's a big individual peak. Yeah, that is a good flash. I mean, that was a scary peak, though. Pretty risky, but it does pan out well, nicely. I think that was Toma that actually threw the flash for him, so that was a good little bit of a connection. Buddha now coming in through the apartments. And now the CTs are starting to feel this, or fill the kill feed right now. Double player is going to be in apartments, going to go for this, and they're just peeking 1 by 1. They're just kind of taking this with not even any discipline at all.
As soon as that 4v5 came out, it all became a question of who could be the hero in the round. You had Huaso trying to sell something on that B bomb side, but Bestia alongside Luchov were very prone to that idea. They move into clearing car together. They get so much space that now Bestia are looking in pole position to move us to the final round of regulation. What a game we're having here on Inferno, lads. I mean, just when you thought 9Z had all the momentum to close things out, a risky peek down mid from Luchov and Toma nets them a chance back into this. It's just some fantastic shooting from Bestia, and we're going all the way here, lads. I love this.
Oh, I can't even help but laugh. I'm just like, what just happened there? That's not even remotely the same 9Z that we saw from the last, what, like 6 rounds in a row? Yeah, and there we go. We're going to take a tactical timeout. Why not? I think that was a little bit sloppy, even for 9Z standards right now, right? I mean, that's the big round for Bestia, don't get me wrong. Like, they were able to capitalize and find some good duels, but again, they just kind of, 9Z went for these like individual peaks. They felt like they were overthinking it. But like you said, we're going to the last round right now to see if this is going to push to overtime or not. And let's not forget, as you can see on the top right of your screen, Bestia picked this map. And this is kind of a much needed map they need in the veto, because we were saying 9Z, I think, won that, you know, a little bit of the veto process. So if they can't take this, man, the favor just definitely leans hard on 9Z.
And now, what do these IGLs call out of spawn? Max and Noxy in this chess match has gone back and forth with looking really sharp in their calls. And it'll come all down to this in round number 24, and it's absolute disaster to start off this round. Look at how much utility damage comes in from the artillery of Bestia. Buddha 57, Max 40, and DJT on 35. And they haven't even seen a player here, Laz. Talk about just the worst possible 5v5 to be in.
No, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, this is the thing. They haven't seen anybody at all, and you already have, what, 3 players that are below 60 HP? That's just, it's madness. And not what you want for any 9Z fans, because now they're wounded, and they have to be just crisp on the shots now to making sure they don't get taken out early. But instead of the banana control, they are just going to lean back onto brackets. They've been doing quite well to get that. But it's a question if they want to commit to this, though. Buddha does have himself inside a boiler. A turtle setup coming in from Bestia. And if I'm not mistaken, the op is still leaning on this towards Arch, so this is a good amount of pressure. And Noxy...
What?
He overpeaks it! He gets so aggressive and now giving up himself here. This is giving 9Z some kind of a chance, but the bomb gets tagged a little bit. What is going on?
They want to wrap in a B. They want to wrap in a B and push in through the CT spawn. But a kill is back in from Deco. This rotation is so marvelous, and he punishes Max's back as well. Now, Luchov has to be the hero on the site itself. 2 players coming up towards him, but it's that artillery that's going to confirm them the round. Look at these low HP players, and Luchov will send us to overtime. Buddha has 6 seconds, and there's just no time. What a round from Bestia, off of the back of the utility in the 5v5, and just some sharp shooting in Deco, in spawn. We need extra time here, and boy, do I think we're deserving of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, again, you know, Bestia had that lead. 9Z were able to put themselves right to the end point. One more step and they were done. And then Bestia, they kind of got themselves, like, you know, they caught their breath a little bit, and then they got themselves back in this game. But again, we're just seeing some very interesting fights that are coming in from both sides too. Like, I was thinking, you know, even for Noxy that went for the peak on Arch, that could have been the end all point. But like you said, they were trying to wrap into B, which hasn't been really, you know, generous to them. Luchov has done such a great job just being a big anchor on that site, especially when he plays on first oranges like that. It just seems like that's the bread and butter, man. That's what he loves to do. But now we're in overtime, first to 16, and there it is. That's a great shot coming in from TGG. That's huge as a start.
And that's a way to kickstart your campaign back into the conversation. Opening 5v4 for 9Z to deal with, and a chance to extend that after getting car control as well. But here's the counterpoint from Bestia. Reclaim brackets and put yourself in a situation where you could potentially trade, but Laz, I don't like the look of this. 5 players now encroaching on this A bomb site. And now meyern, he's had a great regulation, but cannot get anything done here. They're going to spill onto this site. And it's only Toma in the apartments. He'll get himself the first, but now that his position is noted, it's only a matter of time. But the bomb is stuck in apartments yet again. And with Martinez getting his bell rung, it's chaos to ensue here. But finally he goes down. Huaso shuts it all down. And now there's a route into the bomb site, but there's a gap in the smoke.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
pandemonium here, and the bomb gets dropped again. 2v1, and Deco's got a chance. But DGT will quell the chaos. What a round to kick off overtime. Back and forth we go, but 9Z finally break the spell on the T side.
Man, what the heck are we watching here? Like, this is just like so many weird brawls that are coming in, and these fights are just all over the place. Just when you think one team can have it, somebody's able to come in, just get multi-kills or make some kind of a big impact thing there. Like you said, the bomb was down in an apartment. I was thinking, okay, this is not great. MartinezSa was the one that was holding on to it, and the time was dwindling, but huge play coming in from DTG. Like, he was able to find himself that first opener, then able to get the nail to the coffin things done. And you can already see that Noise Q did work nicely here for Bestia. The Molly does land onto one of the players. Doesn't do really much damage, but at least it's information. And now we're going to see the 3-2 setup coming back into effect here for Bestia. The op's still going to be rotated around. This time it's towards B. It's normally been on Arch, so they are trying to mix this up. I like this play. This is a good adjustment.
Could be the change that they needed. But 9Z will stay stoic. They're going to continue to push the issue. That flash, Noxy eats that and has to fall back, and because of that, they're going to start to have to use and burn some of this utility here. Max has gotten what he's come for, and he actually wants to continue to push the issue. They're going to smoke off these choke points, and they want to go ahead of that. Luckily for Bestia, Deco will be there on the rotation quickly, and they want to fight. They want to see if they can get involved in this gunfight straight away, but nothing is being offered up. With only 35 seconds left on the clock, Bestia are going to have to make a decision, and that little bit of a pause has continuously caused the rotation. Buddha has a chance to get some backstabs involved and a potential into this B bomb site.
Yeah, and he's about to run into Deco too, but he actually does win that fight, so now Bestia know that they're coming in from every single angle. 15 seconds though, the bomb has to get moving. And look at Luchov, who other than him to just do some more problems. But the bomb should be able to get down. He's not able to find that kill. He's doing everything possible. Prayers are being answered with multi-kills, but it's no more than the 2. Leaving it now to a 2v2 situation. The op making connection. meyern now the one player that's been able to do some pretty decent work. Can he do more? Sitting at 22 kills, looking to find these fights. Only has the kit with the rifle, comes in for the swing, and it's a spray, but it's going to be 9Z that grabbed themselves the 2 in a row.
Another scrappy affair there, but that slight pause being called by Max was everything for 9Z. Deco has a moment of hesitation, and suddenly it is only Luchov on the site. He gets run over. And then it's all 9Z every day. Buddha is there for that late A wrap. And that's just a beautifully called round there from 9Z. They'll get themselves the 14th. They poise themselves to get that clean sheet on this offense. And boy, oh boy, have they just completely turned a new leaf here in overtime.
Man, they really have. And that's the thing, right? It feels like it's kind of like, things are warm and then it cooks up right away and then it kind of simmers down and holy moly. We were talking about this game being close, right? We were saying like this is the number 41 ranked team in the world with number 40. Man, oh man, is this thing really coming to full effect? But I have no idea what to expect from Bestia at this moment. I mean, again, you kind of look, this is the last round going into this, the OT and then switching halves. But if 9Z can find themselves another one, I mean, they're gonna be laughing because their CT side has been decent.
A lot on the line, for sure. It does feel like Bestia have lost a little bit of momentum. But we have seen them also have a resilient affair here on Inferno to keep themselves at least in the conversation and push us to overtime. So they will have one more bye out in this round. And Noxy will not have all the bells and whistles that he's looking for. But at the end of the day, he's still able to retain that AWP. And it's one last ditch effort on this defense to see if they can stay strong here on Inferno. Their map pick, mind you, nades early to soften up some players on Car, but it only softens up Luchov to 83.
Yeah, but he's doing the same
Gambit
thing.
doesn't work out.
He's doing the same thing again, though, too, right? Like, you kind of said this before. Like, he's been kind of doing the one-trick pony when he keeps just kind of jiggling a banana. It's a little bit scary. Oh, look at that utility usage coming in, though. Nicely done here to kind of just, again, push Buddha back. I like this. 4-player stack coming in right now, Paladin.
A lot of early control for Bestia. And now the brackets has been taken. There's a chance now for meyern to roll through with this. Trades coming through, but Deco still hasn't been cleared from Cubby. 55 seconds left on the clock, so there is a lot of time to play with here. But they don't have bodies. Deco punishes from balcony, and now MartinezSa is going to try to get himself involved. Great Molotov into the op shot there from him. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Max has made all this headway onto this B bomb site, clearing out so much of the map. And yet still, he's evaded Luchov's presence for so long. It's gotta be Luchov to go huge here. And is he aware of how close up Max is? And no, he isn't. He'll go down, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, it's a now or never for meyern. But there's meyern. He's just going to go charging through. And now, it's the sniper. 23 and 18 across Inferno. And now he needs to make it 25. A 1v2 on offer for him. And he misses the flick. Can't actually convert. And now his position is noted.
No way.
But the head-to-head works out. He gets the shot onto Noxy. And now meyern shaking in his boots. And it's not to be. It's meyern to get that first CT round on the board. And just by the skin of their teeth, Laz, it's a 13 on the board for the Argentinians.
Absolutely unreal. I mean, it comes right down to a 1v1 in that kind of way. I mean, like you said, that overtime went in 2 rounds for the 1, and now we're sitting at the 14-13. Again, first person to 16 is going to be able to take this map home. But man, oh man, this is becoming difficult because, I mean, we have meyern right now sitting at 24 and 15. Pushing over 2,600 damage so far in the game. Luchov sitting himself with a 19-19. And even, again, like, MartinezSa has been so stellar this game, man. I mean, the fact that round alone, like you said, shaking the boots a little bit. But, man, 24-19. And he's sitting over 2K of damage. Like, this is somebody that's been able to find so much good work. I was kind of wondering if we were going to see a better version of him since we saw him for the Chengdu qualifiers. And we definitely are. And you love to see that right now. But a pause is going to come through. Going to buy a little bit more time right now. BESTIA, unfortunately, could not be able to find really much success except for the 1 round. But meyern, 2 rounds away from getting themselves the victory of Inferno, which was BESTIA's pick.
And to think that they were just 1 kill away there in that final round to confirm and essentially just collapse the mental of BESTIA. They'll be thinking how we can try to build ourselves back up after that failed clutch. Tech pause is ended, and we'll see what BESTIA can do on their offense. Can they go flawless on this offense and potentially steal away a map pick, or can meyern do what they couldn't in regulation and close it out on this defense?
And that's the thing, like, it just feels like, again, both these teams have been kind of like I said, the hot and then really cold and then kind of getting right back into it. So we'll have to see, you know, the fact that, you know, BESTIA were able to get that 1 round. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough for them to feel a little bit better going into this new side on the tees? I don't know. Double boost coming in over this. Not going to be able to see over the smoke, of course, but Luchov already taking some damage. A good nade pops open the smoke. No information, though. But the intel of nobody's on ramp is some decent information right now for meyern. putting these players back, turtling into the site, kind of repositioning themselves. Bestia now trying to put some pressure, but Luchov actually gets burned alive in a very unorthodox spot, and they're going to kind of regather their thoughts.
It looks like that smoke did not extinguish the flames, and there was just a slight gap for that Molotov to stay alive, and Luchov burns. And instead of actually falling back, they feign some footsteps back to the A site, but this B-bomb site is still where Noxy wants to end up. They're going to try to flash through this smoke. They're going to cordon off CT as well. And now an opportunity for Bestia to pounce onto the B-bomb site, but 3 players are here.
3 players are here, but the rifles are starting to do some decent work, and 9Z, they lead it. A 4-on-2 now, and they're split apart. Look at the positioning from Bestia. 26 seconds remaining. Toma now coming through CT spawn, taking a bit of a stroll, looking at the scenic route of the flowers, but he's going to have to stop picking them. He has to get going. 15 seconds, like you said. This is getting a little bit worrisome now. The bomb's making its way in here. Noxy, he's going to try to just fake plant this, but it's not going to work at all. Buddha, he does one better in this round. It's over. And we're now going into the last round, potentially here for 9Z to take this thing.
Way for 9Z to be active in that round. They get the man advantage, and they want to extend that. They don't want to give any respect to Bestia on the site hit itself. As soon as those smokes come down, they're so willing to throw flash over the top, take some aim duels, and get in the faces of Bestia. And for that reason, they get 2 kills for themselves and net and put themselves in a pole position here to close out Inferno. 15-13 the scoreline, but Noxy wants to keep playing. Martinez goes down, and we still have some life in this game.
Yeah, we're starting to see Bestia putting a little bit more pressure on this now. They're starting to cook up something a little bit quicker. Also now, just on the other side of the smoke, maybe if the timing's right, he might be able to find a multi-kill. And that could just be the nail to the coffin. He actually gets caught here through the spam, taken down to 43. But look at it! Peekaboo! And it's going to be also. He takes down this player, looking for the one more onto balcony. Buddha able to help him out a little bit. Things are getting so chaotic on a 3-on-3 with 1 minute and 8 remaining. And you can see it's Max here with the rifle, has to lock things down. He's able to find this first, looking for one more. Maybe it's a spray, but no. Now it's gone to the 2v2. The CTs, they cannot let this go. They are so close to a victory. A spam from Buddha, attempting everything possible. The utility still available here from the player in Banana. And that might be the critical point here. DTG needs to be able to find this kill. If he can, this could change everything around, but no way!
1!
How is this happening? Bestia might have just gotten themselves a lifeline, and yes, they do! And who else than Toma to get himself a triple kill to keep them alive in this game, Paladin?
My goodness, how does Toma pull it off? 14 rounds the good for Bestia, and now we're staring down the barrel of potential extra time. It feels as though every opportunity where 9Z have a chance to close it out, Bestia rips it back into their favor. And what a round to do it. It feels like you can do no wrong in this game and do no right in this game. And it's more aggression from 9Z. They want to go ahead of that smoke they've been throwing so often. Martinez will get himself an opening, but they're not aware of DGT in Banana. No chance here. And I think DGT is going to get away with his life as well. He manages to dive and dodge through these smokes. And it's a 5v3, damage on Deco. And Bestia need a 3v5 conversion to stay within their map pick.
My oh my. And even 9Z still keeping Max close onto this. They might not even clear him. Oh, he gets an easy kill. That's going to be the bomb too. Max doing so much damage. 96. You want to be very precise. TGG now needs to hold on to this. He is boosted up. But Bestia kind of hold back on this. Waiting things out. Noxy, I don't know if he's going to expect this. But the positioning, no way. Oh no, that timing again. A second difference could have made the world here for 9Z. It is a 3-on-2. HP's low, but it's not out of the deck of cards yet. MartinezSa playing aggressive, missing the shot, giving away his position now. 35 seconds remain. Bestia need to make the best decision of their life right here and right now. A smoke with a molly remaining. And Noxie does have the rifle, full HP, no more utility. He's going to be the lead charge, needs to find an entry. MartinezSa has to miss the shot, but who other than MartinezSa to land an op shot like that? And now making it to the 1v2. meyern just going for the desperate plant. Palasso goes for the swing, and there it is. It's going to be a 16-14 victory, and I cannot believe we had to go all the way there where Bestia can't get the job done.
I mean, that's just an unreal play there from 9Z. It feels like they were down and out. I mean, consider the end of the half, right? It was 4-8 to their deficit that they lost the